I'm Amy Nicholson, the author of Tom Cruise, Anatomy of an Actor, and I'm here with David Chen to talk about why you're wrong about Top Gun. Describe Maverick. Easy, right? He's macho, he's patriotic, he's a ladies' man, he's simple. And of course, if you had to sum Maverick up in one word, it would be this: cocky. When we think of Top Gun, we picture flags and planes and motorcycles and volleyball and, above all, cool, buff 24-year-old Tom Cruise swaggering around like he's about to own Hollywood, which he was. Tom Cruise would go on to do some great acting: Magnolia, Born on the 4th of July, War of the Worlds. But Top Gun is just the role that made him a movie star, right? He's just having fun. Actually, no. As a culture, we've remembered Top Gun all wrong. Tom Cruise's Maverick is way more complicated than he gets credit for. He is a phony. Even his cockiness, his signature cockiness, is actually phony. Because yeah, Top Gun starts with him in the air giving the finger to this enemy plane, but then look at what happens as soon as he's on the ground. He's a nobody, and he's standing there and he's just taking it as his commander chews him out. He's not a rebel. Yeah, a rebel would talk back. He doesn't talk back. But watch this. The only thing he does is look at his jaw. Look at the way his jaw clenches when Stinger mentions his father.
And let's not bullshit, Maverick. Your family name ain't the best in the Navy. You need to be doing it better and cleaner than the other guy. Now, what is it with you?
Just want to serve my country, be the best fighter pilot in Navy, sir.
Don't screw around with me, Maverick.
That's the key to the whole film. All his swagger here is fake. It's just an attempt to redeem his family's name around the other soldiers, to make up for the fact that his dad wasn't a good pilot. So watch the way he acts around the rest of the pilots. In this classroom scene, look at that smile. It's forced. This is not what natural confidence looks like. This is psychological warfare. Maverick is trying to intimidate the rest of the class into thinking that he's the best pilot before anyone even gets up in the air. And the only one here who catches on is Iceman. Look, he grins back even bigger and phonier, and that's when Maverick realizes he's been caught. And here in Maverick and Iceman's showdown in this locker room, really listen to what Cruise is doing here. He's accusing him of unsafe flying in front of everyone, which is Maverick, the nervous guy's nightmare. And Cruise has the line in the script:
"Because you're dangerous."
That's right. Ice, man. I am dangerous.
And think about how a genuine response would sound. Like, think about how any actor would say that line. And then hear how Cruise does it.
That's right. Ice, man. I am dangerous.
Maverick sounds not like a tough guy. He sounds like he's imitating a tough guy from a movie. It's so over-the-top fake. And how bizarre is that strange caress? And then, even in this infamous Righteous Brothers scene, there's a second layer. Maverick isn't actually trying to sleep with Kelly McGillis. This is a dare. And it's actually just him trying to impress the guys. The whole thing is a setup. He's too cowardly to risk actual rejection by talking to her or being a normal person. So instead he does this public stunt that he knows is guaranteed to fail, but he's going to look really cool and like a cool risk taker going down.
You've lost that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling.
If you've seen Rock of Ages, you know that Cruise can actually sing. But listen to him here. His singing voice is deliberately terrible, which is a neat trick. It makes Maverick more vulnerable, but it also makes this song and this moment more clearly a joke. But of course, if Maverick was phony for the entire film, then Tom Cruise and this complicated work he's trying to do here, these layers he's adding, would be really hard to see. So the first time we see Maverick let down his guard is actually the first time we see him off base and away from all the boys who he is trying so hard to impress. He's here with Kelly McGillis, and the change is clear. Like, his body language is completely relaxed, finally. And that smile, it's a huge smile just like before, but there's something about it that just isn't as forced. And then his world just crashes down. Like, after Goose dies, Maverick gives up the confident act. Look at this courtroom scene in the military and compare it to the opening bit where we see him with Stinger. In both moments, he's not moving, he's not talking. But look at his eyes. Without doing anything, literally without doing anything, Cruise is showing us this change that's taking place inside of Maverick. And how would a macho guy act around his best friend's widow? Not like this. In this scene, Tom Cruise is supposed to walk through the door and hug Meg Ryan, but he told Tony Scott that he couldn't do it. Instead, the scene cuts from him at the door where he stops. He couldn't walk through that door, to him already inside. And instead of Maverick being the strong one here, it's actually Meg Ryan that comforts him. And Cruise isn't talking. And he doesn't have to. Look at everything that's going on in his face. It's frustrating. Top Gun made Tom Cruise a star, but no one gave him credit for his acting. I mean, Variety called his performance, quote, one-note grinning, and most people agree. I actually agreed before I really got into this. On a superficial level, Top Gun solidified this image of Tom Cruise as a cocky hero. But Cruise saw something darker and more complicated in Maverick that we all missed. He wouldn't have said yes to this film unless he saw that darker and complicated element and he added it on. 2 years later, in this tiny interview with the Toronto Sun that's been pretty forgotten, Cruise actually got honest about Top Gun, and he said, people say, oh, you were just a movie star in that role, but I always thought I was an actor playing a movie star in that role. The irony here is that he played that movie star part so well that he convinced everyone, and it affected the rest of his career. Thanks for letting me defend Top Gun. I hope the next time you watch it, maybe you'll see something else in there that I might have even missed. I'm Amy Nicholson, and I'm the author of Tom Cruise, Anatomy of an Actor, which you can find on Amazon or hopefully even at a cute little independent bookstore. Thanks for listening.